Last time I had about a 60% to 70% accuracy on these predictions, so you can expect to see these units are very likely to show up. I'm gonna look at the rules that I had last time and I'm gonna apply it to this exact thing here. Apparently it's on the 28th. It pretty much follows the same format. We're gonna remove some of the considerations because they have already shown up. So there have not been any duplicates yet on a legendary banner. This might be the first time we end up with a duplicate on a banner. For those of you that don't know, I want to start off by saying this. The legendary banners have always had 5-star exclusives, and we have indeed gone through the whole 5-star exclusive colorless units that are not seasonal. We have gone through all of them. Takumi has shown up. I'm not talking about seasonal units, of course. Mist is the only one that hasn't showed up. Jafar, Innis have all shown up. Jenny showed up, Faye showed up, Elise showed up, and Bravelyn showed up. And these are the colorless on the permanent pool. So that does indeed mean that I expect Mist 100% with utmost confidence to show up on this legendary banner. That is a 100% guarantee. If they follow the exact same patterns and rules of this. Anyways, so welcome to our legendary banner predictions. A lot of people have been asking me about this, and I definitely wanted to get it done. So we're going to follow the exact same rules that I used from last time's legendary banner. And that was, there have not been any duplicates so far. There have only been 5-star exclusives so far. 1 brave hero per banner. That rule is going to be interesting for sure. Will they A, repeat a brave hero, or B, completely not use them anymore? I think that will be the biggest question. My guess is that they may end up repeating the brave heroes, just because they're always going to be in demand, every single one of them, just because they have great skills. Mostly great skills. All of them have great skills. But if I was to take a guess, I'm going to assume that they repeat the brave heroes. Because then they'll just end up with too much saturation on the legendary banners and not enough permanent units to go through. So I'm just going to... My guess is that they repeat the brave heroes. This may mean that they will have a repeat. 4 seasonals per banner. This is still true. 3 legendary heroes per banner. This officially may not be true, because we do know that Gunther is going to be here, Legendary Ike is going to be here, and Fjorm is going to be here. So this means that we may finally have 4 legendary heroes this banner. Will it repeat? So this is the question here. My guess is yes. Axora did break the pattern of spring and bridals into summer, so we're going to talk about PA units again, but this time we may also consider that Halloween comes early. Okay, we definitely could assume that here. Units added within the last 2 months don't count. This generally isn't true, because Ira and Daedra did show up on the first legendary banner, and it was only a month after. So I'm gonna assume last month. Units in the last month don't count, okay? Just 1 month is the grace period, I'll say here. Fjorm is not coming back. No, Ephraim is not coming back. Ephraim is not coming back. Assume the next legendary is colorless. I don't know what element it's going to be. It could be anything. But we will assume that the next legendary will be colorless this time. And the grounds for this will be the 5-star colorless pool is already fully used and needs to be tapped into. There have been hints of a colorless dragon. So is it time? It's pretty much what we're going to ask ourselves. Okay, so now that we've had no repeats, we can officially remove Mia from here, because she did show up. We can officially remove Summer Leo. He's gone. So looking at our red pool, this is what we have now. Last legendary banner for the red, we did end up having legendary Ike, Mia, and Summer Leo. So we ended up removing Summer Leo and Mia this time. However, this time, because we can assume that Halloween may come early, we can add in Halloween Naui. Let's look at our red pool yet again. Alm still hasn't showed up. Ira has shown up. Brave Roy may repeat itself at this point. Celica has shown up. Erica now officially may show up, so I will add her here. Sacred Memory type. Eldigan has not shown up. Alencia has shown up. Exalted Crom is too soon, so I do not expect him to show up so early. Fallen Celica, again, this is too soon, so do not expect them to show up yet. Gray, he is a consideration. Halloween Noe, if they do show up, I think it might be the next banner. In my opinion, I think they're going to show up with Halloween Noe on the following banner after this, and not this one. Ike has indeed shown up. Carol has not. Katarina has not. Legendary Ike will be confirmed, so we can put in Legendary Ike indeed showing up this time. Leo could indeed show up, even though he is currently on a Weapon Refined banner. That does not necessarily imply that he can't show up on the Legendary banner. There was precedent set that Amelia did show up on the Amelia Tana banner right before the Legendary banner. There's no rule to say that Leo can't show up on the Legendary banner, so I will keep him here as a consideration. Luke has not shown up, and he's pretty rare actually. Lynn has not shown up. Pretty rare as well. Lynn hasn't shown up on too many banners. Mia has now officially shown up. Too soon for Male Morgan. And to be honest, he's actually not even a 5-star exclusive. So, Game Press, please update. Too soon for New York units. Ryoma has shown up. Saber has not, and he's fairly rare. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that much good fodder for him other than Shield Pulse. Snacky has shown up. Sigbert has shown up. Zygarde has shown up. Summer Leo has shown up. Young Tiki has not shown up, and I believe it's too soon for Winter Tharja. However, we could consider Zelgius now officially coming into these, into this banner. Okay, so I'm gonna take a bold guess here, but I'm going to assume this time, based on how they did red last time, where they did actually have Summer Leo show up on red, I think that they're going to maybe put Zelgius on this one or the next one. If I was to take a guess, I feel like they do seem to add a tome unit every single one of these red banners. We had Snacky, we did have Leo. I think we may have skipped one where there was no red tome unit. Oh, maybe no, Celica. So we had Celica, we had Snacky, we had Summer Leo. So that means we can say that there might be a red tome here. And if there is a red tome, then we should consider either Katarina, we could consider Leo, and Halloween Noe, or Erica Sacred Memories. Because Erica Sacred Memories is the newest, I would assume that she's probably not likely to show up before Zelgius might here. So based on these choices alone, I feel like either Leo or Katarina will be the most likely choices. And based on popularity, I feel like Leo would show up more than Katarina, especially since his new weapon refinement. However, I do know that Katarina does have Roar Owl, which is very unique to her. And Katarina isn't necessarily unpopular. I know that she is pretty, like people do like her. So I'm going to assume, this is going to be my guess, and I think it's going to be Leo as the red here, not Katarina. I think it will be one of either, but I think Leo is going to be here. I will put like Katarina as the other choice, but I think these are one of the two of the red tomes we could come to expect. Finally, we're going to likely have a red sword here, and from the units we do have shown, I feel like Gray, Carol, Lucina, Luke, Lynn, Saber, these are all units that I don't expect to show up, because if they've shown up, they probably should have shown up already. And what I do actually expect is probably them targeting more popular units. So based on that, I think it likely would be something like Alm, or possibly Young Tiki or Lin. My three choices here, with Alm being my most popular choice, would be Lin or Young Tiki, okay? Especially my grounds for Young Tiki would be that if they did put a colorless dragon on this banner, that Young Tiki would incentivize people to be pulling red to kind of round out your options. So yeah, and like I said earlier, Leo being on the current Weapon Refined banner means nothing. Amelia has been on a legendary banner right before. She's been on an Amelia Tana Bound Hero battle banner right before being on a legendary banner. So there is no reason to say that Leo can't be here. But if I was to take a guess on the reds here, this would be my most grounded assumptions, with Leo and Alm being my strongest. I feel like the weapon refinements might be something they're going to push on these legendary banners. They have shown that red tomes have indeed been on almost every single red so far. Now, since we're going to be finishing up the summer seasonals, it does mean that I think Summer Tiki and Summer Elise are going to show up here because they need to get through them and start working on Halloween units. So that means that the green should be pretty much finished. I think this will likely be it has to be Gunthra. We know that she's coming back, and we know that S Tiki and S Elise should be showing up here because they should go through with it. Now, if they break the patterns that we've had so far, I believe that either S Tiki or S Elise will get skipped here in favor of maybe Halloween Henry, or they could go into one of these other green units, which could be like no, not Dorcas. We know that he's been used now, so he cannot show up. Julia, Minerva, PA and Inigo, Sonia or Raja, with maybe someone like PA Inigo being here. But since we know that they have to start working on the units here for Shigure, like the PA units as well, I do know that blue is going to have Fiorm and Shigure showing up. I do think that would be 3 seasonal units like this, which means on the 4th one here, we do know that both PA Livia and Asgaius were used, but now we do have Halloween Jacob and Halloween Sakura also showing up here as options, which means that in the colorless slot, I feel like it will be a colorless legendary dragon. I think there's enough implications to suggest that, or it could be a colorless legendary hero. If it is not a dragon, I believe it's a hero. I highly doubt they're going to use both Halloween Sakura and Halloween Jacob right here at the same time. I feel like they have to add a colorless legendary hero at this time, because Mist is the only 5-star exclusive that has not been used so far, and as a result, she should be here sharing it with the new colorless hero. This would make a lot of sense, because they would want people pulling on colorless. They might be upset with a Mist pull. It would be like the pity breakers, so to speak. There is no pity breakers, but you know, people feel like that when it happens. So I don't think they're going to be using Jafar. Also cannot be used anymore. We know Mist is pretty much going to use. So if you can see the colorless considerations, they're much less than what we're looking at for red and blue. Escorin is officially out of this list. Now, when you look at the previous banner, we know that Mia and Dorcas was there, and the one missing from the Far-Fetched Heroes was loot. So that means that my consideration for blue is going to be loot to fill out that gap from Far-Fetched Heroes not being there. For future banners, we can definitely assume that Micaiah also shows up, because she's 5-star exclusive, but unfortunately she will not show up on this one. I think loot should be here because that would be the missing link for Far-Fetched Heroes. So really, if you look at it, the only choices that happen here are Halloween Jacob and Halloween Sakura, either taking up the final slot. In my opinion, I think that they're probably going to use Halloween Jacob because he'd be an armor unit, and I don't see any other armor units in this whole list. So if I was to pick one between the two, I believe Halloween Jacob shows up on this one. As you can see, guys, the list is pretty comprehensive, and for the next legendary banner, it should be a lot harder to guess the predictions of what's coming, but we can definitely start predicting things like Halloween Noe showing up, maybe things from the Erica Sacred Memories banner, which means we could also be seeing, you know, things like Micaiah and Zelgius in future banners. I think red is going to be the hardest to predict here, but we will see. I think when it comes to green and blue, we can be very confident that we'll be seeing most of these units, with red being uncertain, but if my prediction that they're pushing refinements is going to happen, I feel like Leo and Alm are definitely good candidates for this. Young Tiki could be a good suggestion to go along with the colorless legendary hero to build up some, let colorless legendary dragon to build up some hype here. Mist is unfortunately the last 5-star colorless exclusive unit, and therefore will most definitely be here on this legendary banner. Brave Heroes may repeat, and that I think would put the like predictions in a wrench. We might see like Brave Roy, I guess, here. Any reason why Alincia isn't on the list of reds? Alincia has already been used. She showed up on a legendary banner. You guys have said she hasn't. I guess you're right. I guess that would actually make her probably one of the best candidates to be on this banner. If she would show up, she'd be competing here then. Yeah, she might have been on a banner that was at the same time then, huh? Okay. The movement skills banner or something? Anyways, if she's going to show up, Alincia, I likely would say that it's going to be here. Anyways, guys, I think this list is fairly solid, and last time I had about a 60% to 70% accuracy on these predictions, so you can expect to see that these units are very likely to show up. I hope this helped you in one way or another, and if you enjoyed, we'll see you next time.